Here's my other question too. When I was reading you know how you kind of know a little bit of something.
Yes.
I was reading your website. I said, oh wow, okay, estate planning. I'm not too familiar with it. I kind of know a little bit. I said, but Cammie's coming on, so we can kind of dive into
Sure.
that and explain that because I don't think that we, um, as a people, really understand what that really is and
Mhm.
why it's important, why we need it.
I did not know until I was in this industry and started actually talking to some estate attorneys and really getting a grasp around it because there's a misconception. It's estate. I have to have
Mm-hmm.
all these things before I get to that point.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
An 18-year-old can have an estate plan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It could be as simple as making sure all your bank accounts have beneficiaries.
Okay.
Not to say that, some of the banks aren't doing their due diligence, but I know so many people that go and look at their bank accounts. There's no beneficiary.
Mm-hmm.
That asset goes to probate or, it goes immediately to this unknown void when it's an easy step to have a beneficiary.
Right.
Putting a TOD on a vehicle, whether it's paid off or not, could prevent you from going to probate. There's little small things we can consider with any of our items.
So welcome. You know I've been excited to talk to you. I have.
I'm
I was like,
excited to be
wow.
here.
I said I can't wait to talk to.
I know this has been on
Miss
calendar for a little
Cammie.
bit, so I've been looking
Yeah.
forward to it to start the
Yeah.
year off.
Well, welcome to Pieces on the Pages podcast, and I do appreciate you coming to talk to me today. And I just want to kind of read your bio a little bit. I do have that you are the founder and the CEO of Elevated Wealth Advisory Group,
Yes.
and you are the author of Pretty Mind: Mindsets and Habits for Next Level Living.
Yes.
I like that title. That says to me that your book is loaded
It is.
with a lot of information. You are a certified financial planner, and you have a bachelor's of science in computer science and engineering, and a bachelor of science in applied mathematics from the Ohio State University.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. And you also have a master of science in financial engineering from Kent State University.
Yes.
Okay. And the Series 7 and the Series 66 Life and Health Insurance and Security licenses in multiple states. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering to make. And you are a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Correct.
Yes. You are pretty smart. Let me just say
Oh,
that.
thank you.
After I looked at your beautiful website, which it was user friendly. I can, get around and understand some of the things, and I've had questions about some things, but it was well put together.
Thank you.
Did you put that together?
I had a team to
a
help
team
me,
to
assist
help
me
you?
to put my vision onto the website and onto the pages in a format that we wanted to be user friendly. So
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that feedback. We're going to make some changes a little bit, probably later this year, but the bulk of the architecture will stay the same.
Yeah, it's very nice. But yeah, I am honored because you are brilliant. I can say
Oh, thank
that.
you. Thank you.
I'm like, wow, this girl is smart. So my first question is I just want you to kind of explain this
Sure.
myth. And it states many people believe financial planning begins and ends with choosing the right stocks or funds. But in reality, that's only one piece of the picture.
Exactly.
And some of this information I did get from your website. So if you can kind of explain that to us.
Yes. So I'll start with, and I was thinking about this, I love cars, so I thought I'd use an analogy. So when we think of investment vehicles such as stocks and mutual funds, we can almost think of those as the tires of a vehicle, right? But will you just go and purchase tires and expect to get somewhere without the rest of the vehicle? Probably not. But we do know to make the vehicle go, we probably want to make sure we're on the right tires. Now, the type of tires you get depends on the vehicle you're in. You're going to have different tires in a truck, SUV, a sedan, a minivan. So we might have different investment vehicles based on how fast we're going, where we're going, the type of vehicle we need in life. So outside of that, you need additional things. Think about budgeting. Think about debt.
Okay.
Think about taxes, estate planning. Those are going to be surrounding the tires, but everyone's different.
Yes.
So if we just fixate on the one part of the vehicle, we may be missing some risk or opportunities that we need to consider when it comes to financial planning. So I know a lot of, even in my career, I kind of focused on investments. And then I would have these conversations with clients would led me to believe that, okay, we need to go beyond just your portfolio, your investments. We need to see... Everyone's different behaviorally.
Exactly. Yeah.
How do you deal with financial stress? What's important to you? What keeps you up at night? That's what I thrive off of in terms of problem solving, in terms of getting the whole picture. Because you might have the same portfolio on paper, but completely different family dynamic, right? Are we woman? Are we man? Are we single? Are we divorced? Are we taking care of extended family? How much all of those things come into play. So when we fixate on one specific thing, we might be missing out on the big picture.
Okay.
Right?
It makes sense to me. I like that. I like that. So you look at the overall, not just single into
it's
one.
It's a tool, right? At the end of the day, it's a tool. We kind of know we've been, Warren Buffett's been putting in our heads that we need to be invested and other, financial gurus, but that's one piece of the puzzle, right? In terms of what we're trying to build.
Yes. You just reminded me of the puzzle. That's your puzzle.
That's my puzzle.
Okay. I am so sorry. Let me get crazy. Oh my God.
Now, I have not opened this box. I did not see if
You have it?
Hopefully all the pieces are there, so we are going to see.
That's so funny. I meant to tell you to, to pull your, take your puzzle out so that we could kind of,
sure.
The goal is to kind of work on it just a little bit as we are speaking.
Okay.
That's, and I try to adhere to, reminding everyone to bring their puzzle simply because it's the vision that the Lord told me. This is the vision that He gave me. I'm going to give you this.
Oh, sure.
So that's kind of why I like to, remind people to bring their puzzle. And then when people get here, I have to remind them, let's pull it out.
Yes.
I gotta write myself a note. Jesus, Lord, have mercy.
Well, let's get the pieces out as we talk.
Got a
little cheat sheet here. A little cheat.
Oh, okay.
There.
That's crazy. I like that. I like that because we don't know what we need, and you know what we need once you talk to us about our behaviors or our money situation. So you come in and say, hey, this is what I see, this is what you need, and there are other things.
Correct.
Yeah, I like that. And so that leads me to my next question, because how can you personalize financial planning to help us understand where we are today and where we are going?
Right. So I love this question because my whole world is about personalization. There are standards that we use in the industry, but we need to understand the client at the end of the day. We need to understand behaviorally what drives them, their goals, their mindsets, all of these things to help make strategies and implement them, right? It should not be a cookie cutter approach.
Yeah.
If you ever get that sense that the person you're working with is just pulling something off the shelf and presenting it, I would run, because they're not taking you into consideration.
Yes.
Everyone has different spending, even with the same income, right? People have different spending habits, different debt situations, different life expectancies. All of these things are different and are going to come into play when we're considering a comprehensive financial plan.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and so I think it just kind of sounds like your goal too is that you're building that relationship.
Absolutely.
Because I can't get personal with you until I just begin to build the relationship, to get to know you.
This happened this week. This is no joke. I've experienced some emotional events. I've lost a client this week. and I have a client that has finished their adoption process. There are so many things that happen that impact us financially, but they're so emotionally. And when you've been working with people from, gosh, getting up to 15 years, these are people. These are not account numbers. These are people with faces. They have meaning. I've been to their events. I know their family, and I'm there for the good, bad, and the ugly. Right? The dichotomy of these events happening this week, right? Of a sudden loss, although we're prepared, but it's a sudden loss, and treating a person like a person.
Exactly. Yeah.
I let them take the lead. Obviously, you just lost your spouse. Am I going to dive into some financial? No.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the memories. We're going to talk about what they had planned for you, and we're going to talk about what's the good pace for you, and just pepper in some things. But we're not going to just hit you with a bullet point agenda, right? Sending little things here and there, just because we love our clients so much. So yes, we have some standard industry methodology that we use, but my team, we really love on our clients through all of these seasons of life.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Because if you provide the space where I can come in and tell you that, hey, I just lost my husband or my wife, and then I know, so therefore there's some trust that's there, and we're just building that relationship, and I can continue to not only talk to you about my money, but I can talk to you about my life.
Right.
What the things that are going on.
I'm not even asking, like, who's there with you? Who's at the house? Do you need it? What do you need?
Yeah.
Right. What questions do you have?
Yeah.
Right. Those are the things I'm asking.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to know to, love on this client a little more, check in on them, and make sure that we can be of service, whatever that looks like, outside of the comprehensive financial plan, but as a person, as a human being.
Right. It's just not about just money.
Right.
Per se. Yeah. That's beautiful. And here's my other question too. When I was reading you know how you kind of know a little bit of something.
Yes.
I was reading your website. I said, oh wow, okay, estate planning. I'm not too familiar with that. I kind of know a little bit. I said, but Chamie's coming on, so we can kind of dive into that and explain that, because I don't think that we, as a people, really understand what that really is and why it's important, why we need it.
I did not know until I was in this industry and started actually talking to some estate attorneys and really getting a grasp around it, because there's a misconception. It's estate. I have to have all these things before I get to that point. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
An 18-year-old can have an estate plan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It could be as simple as making sure all your bank accounts have beneficiaries.
Okay.
Not to say that, some of the banks aren't doing their due diligence, but I know so many people that go and look at their bank accounts, there's no beneficiary. That asset goes to probate, or, it goes immediately to this unknown void, when it's an easy step to have a beneficiary.
Right.
Putting a TOD on a vehicle, whether it's paid off or not, it could prevent you from going to probate. There's little small things we can consider with any of our items, right? There's a misconception between wills and trust and power of attorney. So just want to provide that information to my clients. And we also have some tools, Power with AI, that allow some self-service, because I feel like everyone should have some basic estate documents created, particularly in our communities. That is a problem, and that's how we lose wealth. So we work all of this time accumulating, clawing, getting this wealth together, and it could be lost through time and taxes and things we don't need to go through because we didn't have a few papers signed and put in order. I realize it's an emotional thing, right? So we have to stare our mortality in the face, right? However, if we think of it as a gift to our loved ones while they're grieving, where everything's in place, we know the final wishes, we know, will this person want to be on life support or additional care? How does this person want to have their things distributed, or was it in a trust, or all of that stuff will take a huge burden off of the family when they're grieving.
Yeah.
And if there are disagreements, then what?
Yeah, right, because that eliminates that.
Right.
And it's something good that we should learn early on, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we don't learn that early on.
We
even
might
if
learn,
we do learn it
through dealing with someone's estate, being executor or trustee. We learn maybe the hard way of some things not to do, and then we're like, okay, well, I do not want to put my family through
that again.
what I just did.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to work on it for myself.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely. Estate planning is for everyone, in my belief. And
I believe that.
There's various stages. Just like we go through various stages of handling our finances, there's various levels of estate planning. But the basic estate plan could be created at a very young age.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. I'm going to have to do that because I don't do that. I don't have that in place. I guess I'll say it like that. So just by even talking to you today, because I read it, but I never, just how you explained it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's something that I need to get serious about thinking and doing.
Right, right.
So.
And I think people, there's a just to elaborate one more point on this. People say, well, I have a will. A will is a document read in probate, right? So that's a public document. So if you are one that wants privacy, there's other vehicles and that you can use to not have to go through this. So hopefully the will is a catch-all for some remaining things, but it's at the end of the day, it's a probate document, right?
Okay.
So there's things, like I said, very simple things. Transferring death payable on death on your accounts, making sure your insurance is up to date when you go through life stages, things like this.
Yeah.
So
because insurance has a tendency to lapse sometimes.
That's the case. Yeah, that can happen.
Sometimes, yeah. Because sometimes, especially when you're older and you may forget about paying it, especially if you don't have automatic debit.
Right, and that's where if there's issues with that, that's maybe when should be a financial power of attorney. That's maybe they're in the picture, or if the person is deemed incompetent, but at least someone's there to manage those financial responsibilities. You wouldn't want that insurance policy to lapse.
Yeah,
because of something like
exactly. that. Yeah. That was good. So I also saw that you have what you call 5 wealth management principles that your company offer.
Yes.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I've kind of hinted at these topics here. Oh, we should be putting this together, shouldn't we? I've hinted.
It's kind of difficult while we're talking.
Right.
But
I'll be sure to work on this a little bit.
Some of it. Okay. That's cool.
But in terms of the 5 steps, so one of them, the first step I kind of hit on was behavior. I love behavioral finance. If I were ever to go back for a PhD, it'd be behavioral finance. How someone responds to certain things, or our money scripts from growing up. Maybe we have a fear of poverty. Maybe we are impulsive with spending. Like, these are things that I would need to learn and understand when I'm helping you and providing recommendations, because I want to make sure that we're able to be working on this together. There's no me dragging you or you feeling we're having restrictions, but it's really about understanding the dynamics of your relationship with money. That's important. So the behavior aspect is important for me to help with the coaching. There's the asset allocation. So what that means is how are our accounts distributed, either from a taxable or non-taxable or tax-deferred standpoint. So I'm talking about 401k or Roth IRA, these kinds of things. Yeah. There's that type of diversification. There's the allocation of stocks, bonds, and cash. That's a very, very common one. Okay. But understanding where, because a lot of people don't understand where they should be in any of these categories. Right, they're guessing. Right. Yeah. So we really want to understand that, and it's very much personalized. Based on your behavior, your age, your risk tolerance. Okay. We also want to consider investment vehicles in terms of cost. Right. That's important to understand. Okay, what's the cost of this vehicle? What's the cost of doing the strategy? Yeah. There are some that are a little bit higher cost. There's pros and cons to that, and lower cost, active versus passive, and maybe we're doing both. So we want to, consider that. The other thing is, okay, we've got this thing set up. So this 4th thing is rebalancing, reallocation. So I use a lot of analogies like, okay, women, hair, like, do we just let our hair grow and we never cut it or style it? Or we do this all the time. We do maintenance, right? Your portfolio, your goals need maintenance. You're not going to set it and then never, hopefully, touch your hair again for 20 years. You're going to do maintenance. And we like to pride ourselves in taking care of this. So we should pride ourselves in our portfolio and make little tweaks and adjustments, right? Yeah. That's portfolio maintenance, right? Okay. So that's important as we're progressing towards our goals. And then I would say, lastly, spending, okay? We need to understand where our money's going, not only while we're trying to get to retirement, but in retirement, and what changes could possibly occur during different life events. What happens if I'm considering buying a house, from renting to buying a house? What happens if I become married? What happens if I become widow or widower, right? What happens if I suddenly lose a job? What happens if, I'm now retired and I'm really looking at, additional costs in retirement? whether that's fun money, maybe I'm just traveling all the time.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's additional healthcare costs. So it's all about
All of
taking
that.
that in consideration based on, what we know about you individually, but also some data from history. We can kind of guesstimate
Okay.
what it should look like.
Yeah.
So those are the things that we will work through together. So there's a lot to talk about because a lot of people, I don't, I've got my 401k and that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's so much more that we could be partnering together, building. And then when some life event happens, you're not scattered all over. We have a foundation,
Right.
we have a
That's
plan, we're
true.
making adjustments. I know you, I know the dynamics of the situation
Yeah.
versus someone with no relationship with a planner or advisor in an emotional state. Maybe they're not able to trust that person and share. You know what I mean? It's just a difference
Right.
when you
Yeah.
have that person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But it's always good to connect with a financial planner, a coach, so they can take you through the steps that you need to be taken through because we don't know.
Right.
I don't know if I should turn right over here or go left. I don't know. I don't know without that.
And I don't necessarily tell you exactly. I really want to do the pros and cons, right? I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to still be in control.
Okay.
But I can tell you, based on my experience, if you go this corner, here's the pros and cons. If you go around here, pros and cons. And I might say, this one probably if you want my 2 cents, this one might fit based on what we talked about. But at the end of the day, it's your decision. Now, if we go, and then we'll just keep reassessing, right?
Yeah.
In terms of life and the decisions you're making.
Right.
Right.
So I like that. Yeah. Because you give us the information, and then we take the information and make our decision. But of course, you are right beside us.
I'm walking with
helping
you.
us
I'm right there.
make
Yeah.
the right decision with the information that you've given us.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. I saw this on your site, and I really like this. So how you coach your clients, and what it says is, what I saw was, it says, why is it important not to just manage our money, but master our money? When I saw that, I was like, wow.
Right.
How do I get there with mastering my money? I want to master that.
Right. Because even the way you're saying, you just feel better.
Yes.
Managing it might feel like someone told you how to do it. You're trying to follow rules.
Or
but
figure
when
it
you're
out.
figuring it out, right.
Yeah,
but when you are a master of it, it implies that you've elevated to a certain level.
Yeah.
It feels like you're empowered, you're in control. It's not controlling your life. Like, I control this. I know what to do. I know how to pivot. I've got the people and team around me. If I don't know the information, I know where to go, whether it's a CPA, an attorney, a financial planner, a coach or whatever. I know what to do, and I'm in control. My goal is for people to be financially confident, right? Because we all have God-given talents. So hopefully you are finding where you should be with your God-given talents, but you have a team of people around you to help you feel like you've mastered this area. So it's not taking up, not making noise, and you're not laying in bed thinking about stuff. And, you have that peace of mind and clarity.
Yeah. I like that. Because if I can get there, or if we can get there as far as just mastering, because I think that sometimes we think we're managing it, but we really aren't. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really managing it because, and I think I'm thinking, like, if I set a goal and I don't really meet that goal, then I'm not really managing it. You know what I mean?
Well, there's that. If you don't have an accountability partner, right? If there's not someone like checking in,
you.
like, hey, remember you said by this period of time you wanted to be here and you're going to do these things. Where are we? Those kinds of things.
And so when I have that accountability partner, and when I say that, like, okay, I said I'm going to reach this by, I don't know, in 2 years. And I've reached it, that means I've mastered my money.
And then we got it. What's the next thing?
Yeah.
What's changed? What's stayed the same? How do we keep moving?
Yeah.
And getting to that next level.
Yeah.
It's very similar to if you're into fitness and working in the gym, or if you had a personal trainer, and there might be a little discomfort when you're outside your comfort zone to something new. It's going to be some discomfort, but once you see the progress, it's almost exhilarating and almost wants you like, okay, what can I do next?
Yes.
Once you start that partnership together.
Yeah.
And I know I was just going to add, when you were talking, it made me think of, in our communities, we're not really trained to talk to anybody about our business or what's going on financially.
Yeah.
So some of that has to be released to to feel like you can entrust this person with
Mm-hmm.
very intimate details about your life, because money touches everything,
Yeah,
right?
right,
So
right, right,
you might
right.
have to share
Yes.
some things or
Yeah.
disclose, like, well, it might even be something like, I have an impulsive shopping issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we need to get to the bottom of that. And if I can't do it, we have a financial therapist. I can say, there's
Oh,
things,
okay. Yeah, okay.
there's financial trauma that might have occurred in your life that we might need
Right.
to
Yeah.
address to put that to bed and to move to another aspect of our goals. So
Yeah.
just so people are aware that, sometimes you're doing stuff just like anything else. Could be an eating disorder. Same thing. Could be a money disorder. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
things. Once I said, I love behavioral finance. There's so many things when you peel the onion back that you're like, okay,
Yeah.
yes, we need to get to those stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and those things. But as a person, I really need to understand what's driving you,
Yeah.
and how to be a good partner with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds good. I love that, Cammie. Um, so with your expertise in money and financial planning, what would be some of the takeaways that you want us to know, the audience to know, me to know? What's your takeaways?
I would say, I think because of where we are today, with there's so much noise and so much going on, it takes a certain level of discipline to stay
Mm-hmm.
focused. And sometimes we need that accountability person to help us with that discipline.
Yeah.
But just understanding that it's a little bit trickier, a little bit harder to get the American dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of what we're dealing with. More people have student loan debt, the cost of
Yeah.
living, pension plans are like unicorns, things that
Yeah.
used to exist for our parents or our grandparents' generation. It's different. It's a whole different ball game if we want to really feel financially confident. And I believe more and more people need a financial advisor, financial planner in their corner to help
Yeah.
them navigate this.
Yeah.
Because maybe we could do fine with a 9 to 5, but maybe we really need to start that business. Take a leap of faith, like I did, to start a business, to really
Yeah.
be in control of what that financial future could look like as a business owner. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just one example, but I think you need to embrace the fact that a partner that has more knowledge and has more ability to share some of the pros and cons is going to be almost priceless this day and age.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So
Yeah.
if people are willing to look at it that way, I think more people should be partnered. The industry is thriving, and the industry shifting away from just pushing hopefully stocks and bonds to people, and more towards planning and partnership and
Yes.
and legacy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's going to be more a common household need. Just like we have a doctor
Yeah.
or dentist. Like, yeah, could we go on YouTube and learn how to pull a tooth? I'm just being silly. All right. I don't think anybody would do that. I hope nobody's going to do
Right,
that.
we hope.
But, the do-it-yourself type of mentality, like could I learn to do my own hair? Could I No, they're experts. There's people
That
out
does
there.
it, yeah.
They do it day in and day out. They've seen all types of situations.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it faster and help me and guide me.
Yeah.
So if we can approach that with our financial and our wealth goals, I think people would see some results that they couldn't even imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, but so when a person comes to you, then they are obviously thinking about that, right? They're thinking about, I know I need a financial planner, a coach, or accountability partner. And so then when they kind of get into the clutch of it, there's some talking about some issues that they may not want to deal with. So how do you handle that?
Right.
Because if I know I need it, but
it's a give and take, and I'm not going to forcefully extract things, but I think over time when we're just working, some people are very transparent. They'll come in and just talk the whole time and tell me everything. Okay. Sometimes it takes time that there's things that I've discovered years into the I didn't realize, that wasn't revealed, and that helps, give a piece of the puzzle a little bit. Mm-hmm. So sometimes the puzzles pieces are very forthcoming in the beginning, and sometimes it takes time. So long as we're able to establish trust and rapport and respect for each other, I'm okay with that. And I will add that my firm is not like a traditional firm that has assets under management or certain investment minimum. We allow people that are just getting started, the first generation wealth builders, as well as the experienced investors with portfolios million plus. I didn't want to turn my back on that community because that's important. More and more firms are moving to these higher asset minimums to even talk to someone. That's not what we're about. We're
Right.
about there's options and opportunities to have a service model where you can still get what you need and build up your investment portfolio alongside us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good. And did you want to add anything else?
Oh, wow. I would just say, if this is something new and if someone's been considering it, just like the gym or anything else, just you guys got to get there. You have to have the conversation, get the information. If you're not comfortable, at least make it a plan. Okay, I'm going to do this within the next 6 months or year, but at least have that relationship started.
Yeah, that's good.
Do not, if you can not wait till an emergency, right?
Yeah.
I think you feel more comfortable once you have that relationship going. You get that ball rolling.
At least,
so at least get that dynamic going if you know somebody that you can trust in that area.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that sounds good because at least if you're thinking about it, at least go and at least sit down and have the conversation. So that can at least get your mind going, and even if it takes 4, 5, 6 months to to come back to you to talk to you.
I've had people
still
come
there.
back years. Like sometimes I don't.
Yeah,
they're like,
you put the
I just
seed.
spoke 7 years ago. Like, oh my gosh. Like, okay.
Wow.
Or I found a business card. I'm finally ready, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So it could
yeah.
even be years. I'm not suggesting to wait that long,
Yeah.
but everyone has different timing. But at the end of the day, the goal is to create that partnership with the person that you're comfortable with. I might not be everyone's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that. They're find the type, the personality type. Find the person that you feel like has expertise and knowledge, ethical, trustworthy, those types of things. And then really just start getting to know and dig a little deeper on that relationship.
Yeah. Okay.
And that vision for what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah. Because if it takes them 7 years, or you planted the seed,
right?
So and that's really what's in. I mean, it's not what's important, but at least you did that part. Planted the seed to get your mind, stirring, because the mind has to be transformed. For
Right.
us to,
Absolutely.
And
the person has to be ready, right?
Yeah.
You might know what we need to do, but we actually have to transform that into that
Yeah.
potential energy into kinetic energy, get it moving.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah. So before I ask my last and final question,
Sure.
did you want to say anything about your book?
Absolutely.
So-
Brought a copy. I've actually signed this for you.
You did?
So this will be your copy, and I have a pen for you. But
Okay,
Pretty
wow.
Mind, this is my baby. So Pretty, like I said, the acronym Pretty stands for putting repeatable effort towards transforming yourself. So it's really about me sitting down and compressing about 15, maybe 20 years of learning and realizing that, wow, it really is about keep doing what you're doing and then a little bit of adapting, right? The
Yeah.
things that worked for you in your 20s and 30s, 40s, 50s, they might not work
Right.
later
Yeah.
as things change. But getting up every day, doing the same things, it really moves the ball. And it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So it's meant to be a boot camp. It's meant to be interactive. It has journaling opportunities.
Okay.
So it's on Amazon, so
Okay.
you can find it on there. But I am excited, and I've gotten some great feedback, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
Go
going
from
to
there.
read it, and maybe you'll come back then.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm excited about reading it.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. And the cover is beautiful.
Yes. So
It's a very nice cover.
let you take a look at that. But
That is really nice. And
I
this is
would
my
just say
pen
this
too?
is your pen.
What?
We'll get you
It
going
is
for your
so
journaling and
special.
everything.
It's beautiful. I love that.
I actually designed a cover,
Oh,
which
did you?
I was coached through that because the first iteration it wasn't quite hitting right, and she's like, maybe you should think, going
pretty.
through using some AI tools and really going. And I saw that, I was like, oh, that's it. When you get to that one, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's it. That's the
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah.
That's what we're going with.
And just keep repeating. Not the
Repeating.
bad habits, but the good habits.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, emphasis on good habits. Well, you can repeat the bad habits if you want to.
You won't have any
but-
results.
Right.
if you
Yes,
want to do
definitely, yes, the good
Okay.
habits. And, just attitude of gratitude, that's another thing. You can train your brain to have those positive thoughts.
that. Yes.
And it could be as simple as, I love the fact that I woke up this morning.
Yes. Something small.
I-
Not small, but big.
Right, it's a big thing.
It's small,
yeah.
but it's big.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some
Huge.
people didn't, right? I
Yeah.
love the fact that I have family. I've got my puppy. People say don't call him a puppy. My 160-pound
Oh.
geriatric dog.
You didn't sound like a puppy.
Yeah, I know. I'm a puppy. I have, loved ones, a support system, all these things. I have trials and things that, have happened to me in life, but what can I focus on? What can I really spend my energy on?
Because the trials hopefully they'll help us grow.
Yes.
You know what I
And
mean?
growth is not comfortable.
No.
But the magic,
good.
right, it's good. The magic happens outside the comfort zone.
Yes.
And I joke with my admin, Carol. I joke sometimes, I'm uncomfortable. She's like, oh, that's okay. Like, I'm embracing this discomfort, right? But we kind of joke about it. But, next thing you know, you look back like, oh, I'm comfortable now. I'm comfortable again. Okay. I got through it. I got through it.
Right. Yeah. It is. Yeah. It's difficult. But if you just keep going, don't stay there, get up and keep on moving.
Absolutely.
Keep on moving. And so you said we can get this from Amazon?
This is on Amazon.
Okay.
Yes.
Your book on Amazon. And do you want to give us your website?
So the website is myelevatedwealth.com. And there are tons of resources, even a whole resource tab where you can get lost with calculators and videos and articles. And it's constantly updating. Yeah. So that page is useful for anyone at any level. So
a lot of resources. When I was on your site, I said a lot of resources. This is excellent.
Yeah, almost overwhelming sometimes, but
I don't know. We got to know. And so if you want to know, at least that's a place where we can go and get what we need. That's what I felt like when I was on your site.
Yeah, useful links. When I was building, I was like, I want as much information because I hope people call me. At the end of the day, if I can, like you said, plant seeds and something spark something change something generationally just from getting those resources, that really does something for me in terms of edification and knowing that we have meaningful work, even if I never met that person, right?
Yes. Like you say, generational. Because if I can change you, then I mean I'm going to change your son, your daughter,
right?
It's just going to keep traveling down from generation to generation. And that's what we want. We want to be educated. So
be an example.
Yeah. Do you
have time to share one story?
Yes.
Okay. So when we were talking about this, I was blessed to travel to Hawaii in 2011 for a friend's wedding. And so we went all out in these resorts, and my aunt and my godmother are there and friends are there. So we're staying in some pretty nice resort, and I just wanted to go see the sunrise because it's beautiful when you're in that tropical environment. And I went down there, it's early in the morning, and I'm focusing on waiting for these colors to splash across the water. And I hear this, I'm interrupted by this voice. Mother, what does delay the merger mean? I was like, what? That sounds like a child. So I look over, and this boy couldn't have been any more than 5 or 6, holding his mother's hand, walking along the beach. It's like, okay, well, this is it's a nice resort, so I'm just presuming that they have some decent funds to be here. And obviously this young man is probably seeing as somebody in the family, probably the dad that's dealing with mergers and acquisitions, and he's trying to figure it out. And I was just blown away because what is the average 5 or 6-year-old usually asking questions about? So that's that whole, he's already in an environment. By the time he's 18, oh my gosh, the amount of financial knowledge, comfort is going to be way different. So if we can even be an example and, I love when people bring their kids to the office because the kids are paying attention. Some of these kids, they know about stocks and mutual funds, but asking them and getting their take on money management and goals and, I want to be a millionaire by this age. Okay, well, let me show you what this would take and, those kinds of things.
Yeah,
so
that's really
it's
good.
really, in terms of those generational changes we can make, just bringing them, involving them, sharing. Maybe sharing some mistakes like, well, I wish I would have known this at this age, right? That's up to them to see if they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yes, absolutely. Just sharing.
Yeah. And that's I like that they, the kids come to the office because that just says to me, like, if that child is there, then there's something that they're going to remember.
Oh, yeah, they're absorbing.
And they could take, because they are like sponges. Yes.
And then I have one client.
I like that.
We'll do a Zoom, but she'll bring her kids in and say, "Hey, this is my, we're talking about your 529 plan and seeing how much, look at this, and this is we're on track for how much money for a house." Now it's up to you. So they already know that. Awesome. or they might not know, but they're embracing, or it's part of their core. Like, oh, we save for college, and maybe perhaps when they have a family, they know right away. Okay, we're gonna start 529 plans. We need our retirement. We need insurance. So they're listening. They're picking it up.
They are. They are. Yes, and they'll be able to implement that when they're like 14, 15 years old.
Yes, it's possible.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, thank you. I just wanted to share that story.
No, I love that. At 5 years old, oh my God.
I know. I was obviously, it left a mark, an imprint on me, because it's like, wow, just that level.
Like they're having that conversation in the house.
That comprehension.
Yeah, the mom and dad or whomever, they're talking about that.
Right.
I love that. I love it. But thank you, though. So we talked about your website. So my last question is going to be, so when we think about a puzzle, and when you think about if you compared your life to a puzzle, I kind of like to ask this question. If you compared your life to a puzzle, what I'm going to list, I have 4 options, and I just kind of want you to kind of choose one and say, this is where I'm at. It would either be pieces scattered on a table, some pieces are missing on purpose, and every piece reveals more purpose, more growth, and more meaning. And the last one would be if you think about edges that are expanding.
So to my interpretation, I want to say the one where all the pieces aren't on the table, because when I was scattered, all the pieces aren't there. So in my mind, the pieces just keep expanding. Maybe I don't have boundaries, because this is my outside the box thinking, right? As I was, in college, I never would have thought I was here. Yeah. As I never would have thought I would have had a business. So I'm thinking that, I'm working on the puzzle. My puzzle's kind of expanding from the middle. I don't know what the full picture is, but yeah, just magically pieces a drop, and I'm like, more pieces.
Right.
Where are these going? Yeah. Maybe I don't really know what the whole picture looks like, but it's a process. It could be a struggle, because you get that piece, you're just like, where does this piece go? I don't get it. Like, and then one day all of a sudden, oh, there it goes, and it fits in, right? So to me, it's like there's constantly being pieces added to my puzzle, and I get glimpses of the picture, but the picture is still expanding. I don't know what the whole. That's my life, right? And that's something that especially when faced with the client that passed this week. Like, I don't know how long I have here. I don't know how big this puzzle is going to get. Yeah. But I will embrace the process of figuring out where the pieces go to the best of my ability, right? So I don't know. Okay. It kind of jumped around. It's like, oh, I'm outside the box. I was like, oh, I can't just pinpoint one. I can't stay in the box on this question. But to me, when I envisioned that, when you asked me, I was like, yeah, I have pieces that are constantly being added.
And I think that's what life is about, though. And we have to adapt. Right. And approach it in a positive way, whatever that situation is.
And I can't take my puzzle to your puzzle, because it's not going to work, right? I can't be like, you had this piece, you may or may not have that piece. I got to focus, stay in my lane, even if people can't understand my puzzle pieces. Yeah. Right?
But because of who you are, we can get together and sit down and do our puzzles together, partner.
Right, together.
You're the coach.
And I'll go look at your puzzle like, oh, what you got over there?
Right. And we can work on that together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
So thank you so much. I love this concept, and I'm so happy that we connected and met. And
I know. We did this. With Dr. Inez.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing the Pieces on the Pages podcast, and I'm looking forward. You have some things on YouTube, though, too, right?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel, so it's under Elevated Wealth Advisory Group, and we're going to put content on there, a little bit from the book and a little bit about topics that a lot of people would like to learn more about: retirement income planning, guaranteed income, insurance. So just little snippets, because we have short attention spans usually. But little snippets, and of course, if there are things that you want to hear, I would love to get that feedback as well to add to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, and so they have to subscribe.
Yes.
So they can, get your notifications.
Yes.
About when they're going to come. So thank you so much. I appreciate you taking some time out your day to come and talk to me.
This is exciting. I love it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And we didn't get to work on our puzzle.
I know.
So.
And it's a tricky one. It's got a lot of white pieces in here. So let's see.
Do you have any nieces or nephews or?
I am an only child.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I'm Aunt Chamie through friendships and adopted family.
Yeah, because they can work on it.
Yes.
If you have. if you have but puzzles are
I love puzzles. This
yeah.
would be me. And I didn't even think to create my own puzzle. So that was like, huh.
For your book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna come back.
Oh, absolutely.
Once I read this, I'm excited about reading this. I can't wait to read it. Thank you so much for
welcome.
thinking of
Yes.
me.
Yes.
Thinking of me and bringing
I'm doing
me
the
a
easy, trying to do the easy ones. Let me see.
See, because look, if you do like the words,
Right,
I always
that's what with the words.
I always grab that first
Mm-hmm.
because I know me. So here's a
There
word
we
right
go.
here, elevated.
Yep.
What made you name your business Elevated Wealth
Oh, I am
Advisory?
so glad that you asked me that question because it was a struggle in terms of what I should name
Mm-hmm.
this.
Yeah, it always is
And,
though.
Well, first, some people use their name like, oh, it could have been Townsend Wealth, blah blah blah. Or I was like, that didn't. Well, what if I don't keep the company? What if I expand? I just didn't want it to be focused on me, and I wanted something that would evoke an emotion and evoke a sense of movement. So I actually was reading a book and it had elevated in the title, and I was literally fixated on the book cover. I'm like, why? I'm just drawn to this word. It's like, can I do elevated wealth? Elevate. I just kept saying it over. And after about a week of, saying it and playing with it, I was like, you know what? It's going to be elevated. Yeah. Elevated Wealth Advisory Group, because I can elevate anyone at any level. I don't care if you're just getting started. $50 a month, $100 a month. I don't care if you have $1 million, $2 million. There's something we can constantly doing to get you to that next level. Next level living. That was the tagline. So the logo was not my design. I was struggling with it. I was with my best friend. So I have to give my best friend props. And we were actually on our way back from Australia. This is an amazing bestie trip.
Travel.
Yes, we like to travel.
I need to give you.
And the most hilarious thing about this was I was struggling with, okay, I had the name. I didn't have the logo yet. Everything looked too cheesy or clipped. It didn't seem. And she's like, just talk to me about what you're trying to do. She's literally on a laptop, approximately, I would say 5 minutes in my mind. I'm talking about it, and she turns her laptop around. She was like this.
And she created it that fast?
She was in Canva. I was still not as comfortable with Canva. She was playing with fonts, and the way she did the fonts, I was like, that's it. The elevated, the motion, the it's classy, the gold. So yeah, I just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that in like 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Is she graphics?
She's talented. She's very talented. Her thing is real estate.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
Yeah.
So
shout out. Can I say her name? Okay. So shout out to Erin Dorsey Robinson in the Cleveland area. She is a real estate expert. So she's got her own team. She's educating people. She's getting people together in that area.
Okay.
So I'll shout her out. But we've been best friends for a long time. We're actually going to Panama in a little bit. So
nice.
We do life together.
Okay, good. You're doing better than I, but
well, I kind of know what it looks like.
Yeah,
that's true. I've got the cheat sheet.
When my little pieces that I did have together, they didn't came apart. But I wanted to say the title, it fits you because you're very knowledgeable, and I see you taking people to different levels, elevating us, elevating the community, just elevation. I see that even when I talked to you a couple months ago, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, so she can elevate a sister.
Yes, that's what gets me up in the morning, gets me going.
Yeah, that's your passion. That's your purpose, your passion. It's awesome.
Because did we talk about Ikigai? I think I'm saying that right. Did we talk about that Ikigai?
I don't even know what that is. Should I know what that is?
It's a Japanese term I stumbled across years ago, but it's a 4 circles. It's a Venn diagram, but basically 4 circles interlocking, and in the very center is the Ikigai, is your purpose. So if I remember all 4, the world needs it, you love it, you're good at it, and you get paid for it. When you find those 4 things, you're in the center. And I feel like I've been blessed to, over the years, get to the center of this giant Venn diagram.
I like that.
And then when life just, when you're working, it doesn't feel like work. You're just in a, and you're not worried about the money will come. You're helping people. You're putting back into the universe. God's blessing you. You're listening to that, and you're making a difference. That's what I feel like. And I try to get clients at that point too, even if, not that I'm a career coach, we start talking about that. Like, are you in your purpose? Like, are you are you enjoying life? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's great to have your portfolio set up, but
Are you? Yes.
are you enjoying life?
Are you enjoying life,
Yeah.
and are you moving in your purpose?
Right? Are you moving in your purpose? Right?
Because that's really what life is about. Moving in your purpose, so you can reach back and help other people, or educate, inform other people, transfer people's minds.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, my love.